Previously on the Paint and Paper Hustle. We hit a few bumps in the road with some minor fitment issues in the rear seats, but we rolled up our sleeves and started dialing in the mounting. Today, it's go time. We're wrapping up the rear seating area of this custom Plymouth. Let's get it done.
All right, last weekend we almost got the back seats done. We're so close. I got 2 more little pieces to put in of sheet metal work before basically the lower seat pans are finished. Stuff, but this is part of the build. This is real stuff. This is what a lot of them don't show. This stuff takes time. So coming in here, our next move is this little funky area right here. All right, so we have this little area right here that we need to tie all together. So I was originally just breaking to 90. I was like, well, how about if we come over like this? But then that's basically gonna leave us this weird drop. We want it to look clean. We wanna keep this plate exposed right here to tie in the bar that's gonna go up and over. So instead of breaking to 90 like this, I'm thinking we'll break like this. We're just roughing in. How much better that looks. All right, so we did. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, so we ran back here to the shop to try to cut a bracket. So if you remember the back seat, okay? If you're calling a handful of videos, we worked on the piece that your seat clips into, which is this piece right here from the factory. It goes inside of a sheet metal box on the Volvo S60 in the back of the seat. But for us, we were gonna try to fit that whole box in the car, like molded in. We didn't have the plasma cutter, but now that we do have the plasma cutter, is this thing dead? Wow, I did not know that this computer was dead. Yikes. We better get this moved over quick. I got 14% left. We're gonna try to cut a bracket basically to mount this off of that bar now, instead of using the factory piece. So I'm hoping that this will just clean it up for us and make it so that we literally don't have to try to figure out how to mount that back piece. That this will be just nice and simple. So that's what our bracket's gonna look like. I'm hoping I've got the clearance on the inside for this piece to go through in the bolts. I spent some time measuring it. We're gonna cut one and see if it works. Line it up. Somebody commented on a previous video of this plasma cutter and asked if we still have it. Man, wrong corner. And if we had any issues with it. And no, I've absolutely loved this Eastwood plasma cutter. This thing is just absolutely perfect. If you're doing stuff like we are in your home garage, you just absolutely cannot beat this thing when you don't have user error flaws. I just simply placed that one in the wrong corner. It starts in this corner over here, in the bracket. It always runs like this on the perimeter. And so I just have to get it all lined up where it cuts the same. This takes just a couple minutes to play around with to get it mapped out right. I think that's it though. So let's see here. We just want like 2 more bumps. Maybe 1. Two's pushing it. Let's try it. Let's just map it out one more time. I'm literally running down the edge of that thing. And then when it gets over here, I'm looking for it to run straight up that edge. Right there. Yep. All right, so let's cut that one. You can see how it's gonna go back home. It's mapping itself all the way around. All it's doing is a square of the material that we need. It even outlines, you know, the amount that you need to pierce in and everything. Now we should be able to just let it rip tater chip. And hopefully this first bracket works, and then we can just run 2 and we don't have to redesign. Look at that, we got ourselves a winner. That's awesome. So that thing will bolt right up to that. We gotta knock the slag off, then it'll sit up tight. And then we can weld this to the roll bar. Man, I love this plasma cutter. And then the only thing we'll have left, which I was a little low on this, I should have left some meat in here for this tab right here, but I guess I could maybe bend it or something. Is we'll have these back tabs. This one will go straight off of here. This one we might have to build some kind of... So this is what we did have, if you remember. It's this big giant box. We took the time to build the back plate. I mean, we were rocking and rolling to doing this. Okay, so it was gonna sit in there kind of like that. It's not clipped in. But that's what we would need to figure out, is how to box that in and make that look right with upholstery and everything. And so that's the reason why I was like, man, now that we got the plasma cutter, dude, we can literally just make tabs to come right off that bar where it would freaking just go right in like it's supposed to be. So taking this one out, it's interesting because the factory didn't even use all 4 bolts. So they literally only used 3. All right, so that's the upside down view. That's how it goes in there. It sits through there like that. And look at that. They didn't even use that bolt. That was the one that I was just talking about, how it was kind of out in the open and be hard to get a tab to. So they didn't even use that bolt from the factory. So we don't have to use that bolt. Man, you know what I didn't think of? So you can see their cutout versus mine. I did not do this extra clearance. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. It literally just dawned on me. I was too busy focused on the measurements. That's where the actual latch part goes through. So we're literally going to have to recut these brackets. We know they'll fit, but they're not going to clear. That's what that piece is for right there. Yep, that is why that is there. It's because it clears the latch mechanism that goes in the back of the seat. Man, that sucks. Be back to the shop in the morning. Yep, look at that. Can't get it to latch because the piece won't go in there. Man, dude, that sucks. I hate wasting metal more than anybody I know, I think. Man, Sunday morning, I knew these allergies got me tore up. But yesterday afternoon, I went back to the shop again to try to fix our mistake. I jumped on Fusion 360, redesigned that bracket, and, well, went wasting more metal. This time I went ahead and cut our tab that we needed for the back side, so these are just gonna be trash. The good thing about these is they look decently symmetrical, so you can use them for a lot of stuff, even if it's some kind of handle. So put them in the toolbox. Hopefully we'll be able to make use of them at a later date. But these I think are gonna be the ticket. Also went ahead on this one and cut our actual business name into it. My business name is CRC. So that should be it. We should clear the top of that, hopefully. So I might need to move this down. Should have cut adjustment slots in. There we go. I'm gonna go test this up, test fit it real fast. Dude, the plasma table again is life changing. And then we cut these little tabs. They'll go across the back. It's a little long. It's a little bit off, but the cool thing about that is we can just take the flat wheel and grind that back until that fits. And then that will support this like so. All right, moment of truth, guys. Look at that. Pew. Always good when plans work out. Good job. So today's goal is Labor Day, and or is it Labor Day? It's not Labor Day. It's Memorial Day. It's all just a day to me. Is to get these in, to get the back seat in, to get our hinges completely tigged up. Get this in this video, the rest of this video, and get the seats hopefully bolted in. We're gonna have to come up with a design to bolt them in and have them where they're finally in the car and where they pivot open and close. And then we're gonna start moving on towards the back of the car and get it 100% done. Let's go. Well, it's probably not common that you see water being sprayed on the part that you're welding, but if you don't want to catch your seat on fire, you need to keep it cool. So that's what we did. In slippers with water, we TIG welded. It makes a lot of sense, don't it? Can't get it on the inside because the paint was just too hard to clean up. These things don't have to be strong. The welds aren't that best because of all the nasty contaminated paint that was pulling into it, but it's solid. It's welded up. You won't see this at the end of the day. They're both done. That one turned out a lot better. We can put these in the car and hopefully they'll be good to go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw the seats back in here, but we're not gonna be able to bolt them in because I had to order the pieces that I want. So I wanted little spot weld nuts, if you know what I'm talking about. and we're gonna spot weld them or tack them to the wall. I don't want bolts sticking through, because this is where the tire goes up and down, is where they need to be welded at. So we need to basically spot weld a nut to there and do it like that. So I had to order some specialty stuff off of eBay, but we could put it in there. They should sit in place, and then we can probably move on to putting our upper mounts in. All right, had to do a little bit of grinding and massaging over here. Just tapped it with a 2x4, just a little bit of sheet metal. But we're in here, and as you can see, the seat is level. It's flush. I mean, it's straight across left to right. So now, once the steel nuts come in, we'll beat this around, tighten that up to that wall. We'll tighten this one up a little bit, do a spacer block if we need to, and then we'll be able to just bolt them in right there, and then they'll pivot. What we need to do now, though, is get the back pieces put back in, and then weld them in right here so the top of the seat clips in. All right, a little issue on the tack welding on that one. It was acting like it was out of gas, and what it was is I've had a hard time with this nozzle. You see how it's kind of off-centered? Well, it was pretty much all the way to this side plus dirty, and so I think it was just shooting the gas kind of out this way and not on the weld, and making it, you know, weld like if you're out of gas. So I took some pliers, bent that centerpiece back to the center, and it welded great after I knocked the trash out of it. I do have nozzle stuff gel that you put on there. I just haven't dipped it lately. I bought another torch right here off of eBay, a cheap China one for this. It's like 10 foot long. I need to put that on. We did, however, get in a Art Captain. So we were sent this for free to review on the channel. I'm not really looking forward to it because I didn't pay attention. When they said they'd send me an Art Captain welder, I said, yeah, let's rock and roll. And I didn't pay attention. This is a MiG 160. So there's going to be a video dumped on the 160. I thought about sending it back because I really want the a 260 or whatever? The one that holds the big spool. This is the little cheaper one that only holds the little spool in the top like that. I'm not going to try to speak negative of it on that review video because it's probably a good unit, but I've got used to these with the big, what is that, 50-pound spool, 25-pound, the big ones, and not the little one. You can do gas with that one, I read, but I really wanted the 200 and some. But these companies, I'll talk to y'all in this video because not on that video. These companies try to get out as cheap as they can for a video. That's the name of the game. And I really wish I would have typed it in on Google real fast or clicked it and realized it was the 160, because I would have messaged them back and told them that I absolutely will not do a review on this small of a welder, even though it'll still work. I don't know. If it welds better than that big heavy thing, might switch it out. I just can't stand them little rolls of wire. They go through them so fast. We have all this tacked in. The tacks are god awful on that side. I folded it down. Definitely got some fine tuning to do. The top of these want to kind of drag the brackets a little bit whenever you go to close it. So they need to kind of be tweaked down, or we need to probably just grind out this a little bit whenever this thing goes to the shop with the air grinder. Grind that out so it goes in there would probably be the answer for that. We're definitely not remaking the brackets for that minor of a thing, but I don't want to do any fitting of that until the pivot points are attached, because right now when you go to fold the seat forward, everything just kind of moves. So as soon as we can get them pieces in, locked in and bolted in, where this seat will fold forward and backwards, then we will start fine tuning. So you can see how it's kind of pushed in. So we need to flat wheel all of this smooth. I already flat wheeled some over there. Flat wheel it all smooth, and then we need to take a 2x4 against it like I did over here and hit it with a sledgehammer, basically just to bump it this way. We're not trying to wrinkle nothing or dent nothing. We're just trying to, where the metal has kind of, if it's stretched or moved in this way any at all, if we can get 1/16, that's what we want. We would just want to kind of shock it back this way and flat wheel everything to make it as smooth as possible, because again, we're just in the negative on clearance on this thing. But that's going to work good with the gas filler neck. It's going to go down there, and I like these a whole lot better, this style, than that giant box that we were going to have there originally. And we had to cut this out originally because you have to be able to change these mechanisms out if they break. The cables are already broke from just being tossed around, so we're going to have to put new cables on it before the car's done. But you can bolt it here, 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 and then drop it down, fold the seats down, unbolt it, and drop it down under here and up there. We'll probably make a piece of decorative sheet metal, or just let Troy do the upholstery over this or something that is removable so that you can get to these bolts. Will probably be the best bet. And for anybody wondering, we have sat in these. Now that they're pretty much welded in, to make sure we're good. We don't have the seat bottoming here, but you can see that's my arm on the windowsill. We have the pocket right here. All right, that's perfect. We got plenty of room down the side, okay, where we can do some armrests if we want. We might not, keep it simple. And it's not really too uncomfortable at all. So it's definitely, let's see here, that's laid back. So it is definitely laid far back, but once the seat pant cushion gets in here and you're up high, or up higher, it feels fine. And again, the back seat is only going to be rode in by possibly a child, and only local. If this thing is going more than 45 minutes up the road, it's going on a trailer. I'm not driving my crap that far. I have very nice trucks to ride in, and I don't care to ride in my projects at all, besides to local car shows. So it would literally just be for Harper to sit back here for, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes, and that would be it. The back seats are more for bragging rights and looks that it has a full interior than actual functionality. I've always been a huge fan of looks over function, always. Looks over performance, and that's kind of what bored me with the Comet, is when we were building that race car, in order to go fast and have in order to make the car go as fast as it looked, I don't want a car to look what it can't do, per se, if that makes sense. We had to put so much money into the performance side of things, because the way I wanted it to look, it kind of needed to match it. And that's kind of one thing that I hated the most about the Comet, is being forced to do the performance stuff just to build a good looking race car. And that's what I wanted to build, is a very good looking race car. So this one, again, looks over function, so I'm not too concerned about the back seats.
Cut! Okay, that's a wrap for this one. Let's go eat.